Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today we are doing the third episode in the series where I rate all the worlds, review all the worlds, what I think about them, my hot takes, not so hot takes, all that kind of stuff. Today we're doing Marleybone. Now, Marleybone is a fantastic world. Let me just say that. If you dislike Marleybone, you're going to disagree with just about everything I say in this video, but it's important. I think it's important for you to stay and maybe reevaluate your opinion of Marleybone as a whole, because it is a really, really fantastic world. Not only is it one of the best worlds in the game, in my opinion, but it's actually one of the most popular worlds. It's really, like, people who don't like it, that's not a popular opinion. There's going to be a significantly less amount of people that dislike this world than actually like it, and for good reason. So let's get into it. First off, unlike Crocotopia, which the story was a little bit, the pacing was all off, story was a bit iffy, Marleybone has amazing pacing, and the story is quite captivating in my opinion. Now, let's talk about the pacing first off. This world, realistically, takes under 2 hours if you do it in an efficient way. But it's not going to take you over, say, 4 if you're really going at it. Like, if it takes over 4, it's likely because you don't know how to play the game or you aren't the best at the game. I finished Marleybone in an hour and a half at, like, that's my fastest time I've done it in, but you could definitely do it a little bit quicker if you tried. So it's important to note that it doesn't overstay its welcome. For example, Crocotopia feels incredibly slow with the pacing because a majority of the world is just the middle. Marleybone is just spread out and is even shorter than Crocotopia as a whole, which makes it pretty good. This world, I believe, it's probably the second or third shortest in regards to doing it time-wise, I would say. With, you know, like Wizard City probably being a little bit shorter, but with the new Wizard City updates, it's probably about equal now. But let's talk about the actual story itself, which I think is amazingly well paced. You come to the world to find the Croconomicon, which has been put into our sarcophagus that was taken to the Royal Museum. You go and you basically figure out that the mayor and everyone there won't let you in unless you help out the world. You need approval from the mayor, and the mayor is basically like, you gotta help us first, we don't trust you. So he sends you to Sherlock Bones, which is a really cool dude, and Sherlock Bones is like, okay, we need to figure out all this stuff, deal with the O'Leary gangs, which you do, and you do handily, pretty sick in Digmore Station. You come back, and then you figure out that the Scotland Yard and the police are having trouble because Meowiarty broke out, and that could have something to do with Malastare, so you go over there, figure out all that stuff, beat Dr. Von Katzenstein, and you come back to the museum, and they're like, uh-oh, Meowiarty's taking the Croconomicon, he's at the top of Big Ben, you must go stop him. You go up there, and what do you know, it's Malastare, and Malastare's there with Meowiarty. I think it's important to note that this is the first time the character, okay, sorry, I was going to say this is the first time the character's seen Malastare since the tutorial, but that's not true anymore, because you see Malastare at the end of Wizard City now in the new update. It's the first time you've seen him since the end of Wizard City. You didn't see him throughout all of Crocotopia, which is important in my opinion because you really need to see the main villain to truly experience the story. Also, why is this dude just standing here with a knife? He's looking a bit threatening. Alright, I'm just going to keep moving. And really, I think that's why the story is great. But on top of that is it's a fantastic bridge for the story, going from Crocotopia and the Croconomicon to actually putting Malastare as a greater threat in your head, in the characters in the player's head, and moving the story forward because now Malastare's a more real threat. He has the Croconomicon, things are getting scary, and you need to chase him. So that really is that for the story, But I would also like to say that, and this isn't everyone's cup of tea, but it definitely is mine, is I love the atmosphere of this world. Not only do I just love the Industrial Revolution, Edwardian era vibe that this world gives, but I absolutely love, I love being able to see British court life and British royalty, nobility, all that stuff, which was extremely prevalent in Britain in the early 20th century and the late 19th century, which is where this takes place. And I think it's just a really cool atmosphere. I think that they explore it really well, and I love the fact that they perfectly encapsulate the British and how they're everywhere. Like, if you look, the Marleybonians, I just realized that this doesn't go to the spiral. I don't know why that was a spiral map for a second, but the Marleybonians they have their fingers in just about every pie, you know? There's some in, there's a lot in Krokotopia, obviously, because that mirrors Egypt. There's a lot in Celestia. You even see some in Zafaria, which is interesting. Do you see any in other later worlds? I'm trying to think. I don't think you see any in other later worlds, but definitely that you will see them again in the future. And I think it's really cool. I think that they just did a really good job with it in the world and the atmosphere. And that's why it's one of my favorite worlds in the game. Now, what negatives does it have? I would say that there isn't actually that many negatives. You know what? I'm gonna go out and say it. There's almost nothing I dislike about this world. It's quick, it's speedy, it's fun. I really don't know what there is to dislike about this world. Let me know in the comments. I'm sure some of you dislike something about it, but for me, there's literally nothing I dislike about this world. I love this world. It's definitely one of my favorite worlds. And I would definitely rank it extremely highly. I think it's a really, really good world. And I wish that more worlds were like this. Had just the perfect atmosphere to match the pacing. So really, that's it. That's my video on Marleybone. Why I think it's one of the best worlds in this game. All that kind of stuff. Let me know what you think of Marleybone in the comments below. Mushu, I'm going to have probably a bit more to talk about because Mushu is a bit more controversial, but is still quite good. So, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like, hit the sub button, and I'll see you in the next video, whatever that may be. Adios. I'll see you next one.